Good morning. Let's see. I'm still waking up. I can't wake up today. I want to talk about the subconscious anyway, so it kind of fits my theme. Good morning. Give me a second to share this to my admin chat. Good, Sherry's up. I'm gonna be like all over the place. What else is new? With my videos, I want to talk about some dream I had last night that I think is mind-blowing. So I don't want, I like this space because I feel like it's spiritual judgment free, that when I want to talk about certain topics on feed, I'll get a lot of judgments thrown back at me. I was in Francisco's group this morning and someone was asking me about different frequency food. And I put up like 2 little pyramid food charts, right? Food with a lot of waters, high vibe, you know, the usual meat, dairy, not so high vibe. And this person left like 10 comments, like to the point I didn't even read them if you know me. I was like, it's cool, I don't need your ego rants back. They were like, Ascension is clearly man-made. This is bullshit. You're saying that I'm not as high vibe because I eat this, blah, blah, blah. And I was just like, I did make sure I put on the post that your thoughts and your words are more important to your frequency than anything else. The words coming out of your mouth, that it has a big impact on your, not only your frequency, but what you're attracting to you, like on every level. So it kind of fits my theme today anyway, because my channel's all fucked up today because I have this dream. So instead of downloading for my videos, I downloaded like 1 second on the blood moon. And then this morning, and when I'm doing my usual download for video time, I'm downloading on my dreams and getting information and stuff like that. So I'm going to talk about that. But it's really important entering this new year that our words and our thoughts are attracting the ultimate destination we want to arrive at, that our words are matching up with the reality that we want, with the things that we want to attract to us, right? I see a lot of people that talk about their problems a lot, maybe sickness, things they don't like in their life, being broke. That always gives me like the arched eyebrow look, right? Being broke, being sick. And while this stuff may be around us or in our reality, we can change that by simply changing the things we're talking and thinking about. That we have an amazing ability to just heal ourselves on whatever level, and we are living in a manifest reality. So I had this dream last night. Okay, it's gonna be kind of crazy to even try to put in words. I don't even think I should. My guys are like, you probably shouldn't even try. Okay, so I have this dream. It's really important to know that I'm real good in the astral and the dream realm, so I'll just have to say it. I wanted to go find my husband in the astral to hang out with him. I'll just say hang out with him, right? I wanted to go find my husband to hang out with him. I'm always having a hard time finding him in the dream world. I can find most of you guys real easy, right? So I had this real weird dream. Like literally, okay, so I'm just gonna say it. There were demons and angels in it. And the second I say that word, I get thrown at me on my page already. Oh, you just need to elevate higher. You'll get out of that whole kind of concept, right? And you just need to do, this was not like a 3D kind of dream, because I used to have a lot of real crazy dreams going through the matrix, right? Like I've actually been in the fire and have this kind of crazy stuff, you know, 3D kind of dreams. It wasn't like that. This was clearly in our astral realms. Number one, I'm going to back up though, that yesterday I'm feeling real amazing and high vibe. On day 3 on my flow, all I need is 3 days to create a flow, so I'm feeling great, right? I'm feeling amazing. I'm feeling high vibe. My husband was depressed last night because I think he's supposed to do like a reset on his whole life, and you know how that can be, right? Well, what did you think would happen? Throwing me in the middle of everything, right? So, I don't know, he was kind of like depressed about his kid stuff, and you know, I'm absorbing a lot of that. like I'm hanging out, and it's impossible with the abilities I have for me not to be feeling and downloading on whatever's going on with him, being around him. It's just impossible. So I'm absorbing a lot of that anyway. So as usual, the storm's hitting. We're going to have intense purging going on here with everything living here. So I have this dream last night. Okay, I can't even put it into words because it's too crazy. these demons that I was hanging out with, clearly not by choice. And my first response is to snap awake. I'm real good if I don't like a situation. Now, to back up, in order to be in someone else's dream experience, you have to wake up, become lucid in your dream, and then want to go find that person. So there's two starts to me colliding in that dream anyway, that I had to be real lucid. I was so lucid for this experience. My first response, I'm not afraid of these encounters, just to snap awake and just to go back into something else, right? I can snap awake, fall back asleep, and go back into a different kind of dream experience. So that's what I would do. I woke up at least probably 10 times and I kept going into the same dream experience, which was real bizarre to me. I felt like when I was going through it that it was some type of test, training, like simulation, that I was being tested too, like on every level. These were, I guess you could call them demons, right? They weren't great entities with shape-shifting tech capability, where they were shape-shifting into human form and then other forms that were real crazy. I could see the abilities they had, and they had insane fucking abilities. I wasn't scared, but I'm like, what do you want me to do? I'm thinking, because I'm supposed to be using my abilities for whatever kind of test this is I'm going through. And I'm thinking, what do you want me to do? My abilities are more like the seer, psychic stuff, clairvoyance, right? Things like that. And I'm telling you that I did the only thing that I know how to do, which is use my free will. Sorry, this is against my free will. I don't want this, right? And, you would think it wouldn't work good, but it worked amazing. Every time I kept on saying it, I kept on using my free will, throwing it out there. I think that's what we're supposed to be doing. It's all I can do in my real current situation with my husband and his legal stuff, too. All I can do from here is be like, I don't want this in my reality. It's against my free will. It's against my free will for you to take my husband. You can't have him. Stuff like that. But then I'm learning how good that works. I saw an angel in this scenario overlooking the situation. And it was a girl angel with a gold halo. And this is I could remember it so good when I came back too, because I was so lucid. And so it never crossed my mind before that I had a girl angel. If you know me, I think of people in energy, like the energy print you have. I don't even think of people around here like that. And so it never really crossed my mind. I tune into the assistance I have as more like energy. Visible energy, energies. So it never crossed my mind that I could have a really pretty brown-haired girl angel overlooking and overseeing me. I got the name too, because then I'm downloading, instead of doing my video stuff, I'm downloading on my dream. Some angel named Anna Maria was in my dream that apparently is important to my enlightenment and my ascension, and has been overlooking and overseeing me for a while. I believe I may have seen this angel entity in a previous dream too, but I don't remember it really good. I was trying to remember when I told Brittany about seeing that chick in my dream. Hi Gail, I'm just talking about my dreams. Then we're going to talk about prophetic blood moons and the moon turning, or the sky turning red. They're like, these are natural events. So people saying Ascension is man-made up thing. In the group I am in. No comment. Thank God that's not my group. Well, if it's man-made, because people like to give the elite a lot of credit for the weather around here, and every natural disaster must be HARP and the elite and things like that, but, I mean, look around the planet. So, I love these blood moons, because when I was awakening, we had the triad of blood moons the year I was awakening, and, everyone who's in that 3D biblical context looks at the blood moons like, holy shit, blood moon, right? So I'm very excited. This blood moon coming up at the end of the month, the wolf blood moon, I just saw it gets better and better for our trip. The entire sky will turn red because we're having the lunar eclipse, so the moon will be really, really close to the earth. Probably visible most of the places everyone lives in our movements too. It should be visible here in the United States. Hi, Gail. It's not geoengineering, it's fucking Ascension, it's divine. It's divine. Why can't we have, if we have evil, if people believe it evil, right? Why can't we have divine things happening at the same time? Everyone gives the dark so much power and control. Sorry, evil, light, dark, it's all one and the same, divine ruled. So, why can't it be divine and part of a divine plan and Ascension? Why does it have to be elite destroying the planet? As much as I like to give the elite credit, they can't move the moon. As much as I want to give them credit. So, we're noticing that astrologically things are happening on this planet. I forgot. I tried to put it up the other day, but we have Sirius real close to the planet. You can look up and see the Orion constellation, which Sirius is within. And so we have a lot of galactic energies influencing the planet too. This is a really lucky month. I was trying to Google what days would be good for me to win the lottery in January per se. I'll be digging around a little more. I want to find some lucky days for us to play the lotto around here. I will be looking into 2019 lucky lotto dates. So it's actually a really lucky energy this month. We're totally manifesting. We have a blank slate. We have all this space to create something new. And it's really important that our thoughts and our words are aligning with the things we want in our reality. I just had to tell my husband, don't put... He was talking about some cop video. I was like, don't post stuff about the cops. You're just drawing more and more of that into your reality, the things that you're posting and talking about. Law of attraction, it's real easy. So we're always talking about the things we don't like and drawing more of it to us. So, I had a crazy night sleeping. It's okay, the storm's hitting. I like it because I can use this crazy energy to tune into areas I can't access, like the subconscious. Your dream would be your subconscious. But don't be so fast to discard it as fake. My husband told me I'm watching too much television, probably. Which, if you know me, that doesn't even align with me, right? I'm like, seriously? I don't even have time to watch videos. So he says I'm probably just watching too much television or something. And I'm discounting it. It must be fake. It must be made up, right? That's probably why I don't hang out with him in the astral. So people will tell me that I have more inner work to do. But, you know, at some point we're light workers and healers, and we're going to have to help other people conquer their demons and battle their darkness, right? That we're going to be feeling a pull to serve usually. That might involve healing the people in your reality, or, you know, healing people the universe sends for you to assist in some way. Don't worry, this energy is in control of everything. It's not the elite destroying the planet. Most of this is a holographic learning simulation, and it's really just for us. Like, swear to God, like, most of that is fake. 98% of this matrix is fake. There's a lot less souls in here training than we've been led to believe too. We think this planet is so overpopulated and full of so many souls, but a lot of this is just a simulation for us to be trained as light workers, healers, whatever we're doing with our abilities. It's a place that we can experiment and create and manifest without harming people, hopefully. So we can always keep raising our frequency. To that guy who told me he was hella high vibe and to fuck off this morning, I mean, great. I wasn't feeling so high vibe off him interacting with him. I just think we could keep... Okay, how about I'm thinking about it? How about we're not high vibe? How do you think we'll be in a year from now with these ascension energies keep going up? So I know everyone thinks they've arrived and ascended and they're so high vibe. We're going to hopefully keep elevating in frequency and keep going up. To me, the planet frequencies aren't that high because we still see a lot of the same garbage occurring. So we still have a lot of clearing and work to do around here. So, you know what? Your food can make a huge difference in your body. You want to try to just eat higher frequency things. You guys know what to do. You want to ditch the soda, the caffeine, the cigarettes, the booze. The relationships are worse than the food. Some of the relationships, toxic family members, jobs that are killing your soul, things that just aren't bringing you happiness anymore. I could go on and on. Everyone just kind of knows what they need to do. This is a shedding process where we're kind of stripping away layer upon layer of ourselves and garbage. It's also a purification place where, you know, you're much different than you were entering this planet as a space kid, right? You're much different now. We've been growing and learning, but we're getting purified. All the shitty qualities are getting stripped out of us on every level, right? So, I choose to see this stuff as divine. I did have people say it's the government with the moon, but I don't think the government has the capability of moving the moon closer to the earth and influencing astrological things. As much as I love to give them credit for destroying the planet, which they are, don't worry. So, what's going to happen, this energy it'll start to peak tomorrow. It'll reach its peak tomorrow. This is my third day, and then I'll be home free with the storm, right? Ride the wave. So we're going to have intense energy that's going to be unstable through Monday. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, the energy looks real unstable, but this is just an astrological event that is unfolding to set the stage for the full blood moon coming at the end of the month, which will be insane energy. It's going to push us into red in the geomagnetic frequencies, which is kind of like dangerous radiation levels. I'm always asking scientific people, what would happen what happens with these radioactive energies hitting the entire planet with Ascension? And I try to ask questions like those. I don't get a lot of answers. Well, if your service to self is going to rapid age and kill you, if your service to others is going to it's going to heal you and probably reverse age you. We should have been polarized, unlike the third dimensional people learning here, the sleeping people at lower levels of consciousness. We should have all been polarized before we even set foot on this planet, though. So the light workers shouldn't be like freaking out. I see some of them like that are busy with present planet and raising kids and feeling bad they're not maybe assisting the whole more. You are in your own way, just by being you and vibrating. The light workers were polarized long before this journey. Now, let's see what to talk about, right? I didn't download anything today. I was busy exploring my dream in my subconscious. I think it's epic if I can even remember any dream, let alone the whole thing in like tons of detail, right? I'm lucky if I can remember anything. This energy is really good for dreaming tonight too. That I know that it does weird things to our sleep, but you know, I entered into that area because I did ask my subconscious. I like to boss it around like I would my admins, right? I like to boss around my subconscious, so I ordered my subconscious to give me a lucid dream experience with my husband, and that's where I ended up with him. So, check. I like to start to boss around my subconscious. You are anyway, with everything you're thinking about, and you know what? Just like that dream felt so real, just like it feels here. Like so real, right? It feels so real here. Your subconscious is perceiving everything as very real around here, very serious. It doesn't take sarcasm well either. If you say you're having a day where you feel like you're dying, your subconscious will start to kill you. Yeah, so we tend to be over dramatic, right? I feel like dying. Your subconscious will make you feel like that in a minute. So however we're talking to ourselves, it's going to help set our vibration. I felt kind of like half asleep this morning, so instead of saying my usual, I feel like shit, I'm like, I feel really good. I feel really energetic, right? I feel really good. I feel really energetic, and your mind will create that status for you. Yep. Reverse aging is happening. I know that we're making crazy timeline jumps with these storms. We're going to make another one right now with this eclipse storm, that we're making not only individual huge timeline jumps, you know, and me and Brittany definitely believe in the multiverse theory, as she says, multiverse theory, because you know, every choice that we're making, every action that we put out, we're shifting into a parallel reality. But we're making these big timeline jumps, and we're about to make a big one collectively, and most people will feel it. I know I do. I'll be like so high vibe, and then after we do it, I'll feel like I can't move for like 2 days and I'll have to just chill. So people will be feeling it too. So when we make these big timeline jumps, you know, if someone were to time travel, that's what we're talking about in a subtle kind of way. If someone were to time travel and to move beyond that linear time construct, it would theoretically stop the aging process permanently, and it would alter, you know, every cell in your body and things like that. So who knows where we're headed in these vehicles. I had it described to me beginning my ascension that it would be like we would walk into heaven with our human bodies eventually, because it would be such high density energy. I think that's what makes it amazing. I think it's amazing too, all the people that are conscious parenting, because I'm really thinking about it, and it's a little bit different than the world that I grew up in, because a lot of you guys have kids, and these kids are, you know, a generation, we'll just call it a generation, the kids under 18, that are growing up during a mass awakening. Then that's really insane to be growing up and experiencing as the world is changing and shifting from that material aspect to the spiritual. Hi, Nicola. Better self-talk. Be your own cheerleader. We're back to that, right? First off, I'll just admit it. I thought Brittany was kind of on crack when she said that her job is to cheerlead. I think I'm just a cheerleader. It's my job. Well, I think that's the most important job now, I'll just say. that someone asked why Brittany was up this morning. I said she's clearly up to cheerlead me on so I can get up and do my video today, right? She has to be up in the morning to cheerlead me on, that we need to start to be better cheerleaders for ourselves. Any kind of doubt, like fear, those are the obstacles blocking our manifesting. Like if you are trying to manifest something big and you get like worried this might not work out, it might go bad, those are our blocks, our limits right there that we had to get past. So how come we're doing that? I'm gonna go manifest. I'm going to Tibet. My next thought is I'm never getting a passport. I'm going to Tibet. My next thought is I'm never getting a passport. Why aren't we talking to ourselves like we would a little kid? Like, you probably can get a passport. You're going. And talking to ourselves a little more encouragingly. We tend to be real negative with ourselves, more so than others. More self-encouragement this year. You're going to need it. We're growing into our abilities. We're getting trained in our sleep anyway with our abilities and how to use them better. And you know what? I think our best ability is being aspects of the divine, right? There's a lot of interdimensional entities around us and at play, living out their experiences here too. And I think our superpower is being human and having free will and being an aspect of consciousness in such a powerful way. It's like what I'm getting taught how to use it for everything. Like, it doesn't matter what it is, the court bullshit, whatever, weird dream experiences, right? Like, for real. And so I'm telling P this morning, I'm like, that they throw free will in the whole Bible. It's everywhere, I think. But they do it in such a way that it turns people off from it, because then people think it's just some worthless, oh, we have free will, who cares? You can't use it for anything type of a kind of attitude with a lot of the religious training going on around here too. They love to throw these concepts in with their stuff. That's powerful. We're in conscious control of our reality and what we're allowing into it now, so we can use our free will to pretty much change our destiny and our fate at any time. It has the ability to overwrite soul contracts and all sorts of stuff. My husband told me not to sign for his mail. I said, it's because it contracts you. I said, I know it's okay though. I said, you can use free will. It doesn't matter how much you're contracted with anyone. You can use free will at any given time to break those contracts, right? I still contracted with the government. Doesn't matter. I have free will I can use now. It doesn't matter any of this stuff. So free will is really powerful. We need to learn how to use it more, especially when it comes to spiritual protection. Like anyone having any kind of lower vibratory energy problems, entity problems, things like that. It's very powerful in keeping those kind of things away from our reality. It's concerning the technology being used too, that entities can shapeshift into these human forms and take on the form of your lover, your friend, maybe a parent, who knows, right? It's concerning to me too that we can't see, we can't perceive with all of our senses here, all of our spiritual senses here, because it's so dense that a lot of times we are just seeing the human form and not the energy behind it or what lies underneath too. So lots of discernment. This place is like a maze. It's like going through a labyrinth, like of tests, tests, trials, whatever you're going through while we're learning how to manifest and try to create at the same time. We can always vibrate higher. Don't think you're going to be at the same vibration a year from now. That's the goal, is to keep vibrating higher and higher. So these kind of positive changes you can make with like food, bad habits, toxic people, they will, they will free your soul. On every level, it will liberate you. Those are things you can do fast. I talked about that yesterday too, about food. Sorry to keep rehashing, this is from yesterday, right? But it really will help you vibrate lighter too. Alright, and then one last thing before I get off my topic of my dream. It's important to understand demons, angels, humans, that the goal is that we realize we're one with source and we're connected, and someone could be a really bad person and it's okay. It's never too late to go back to source, demons included. It's never too late to turn light, right? We have a choice, be dark or light. And you know what? It's never too late. It doesn't matter. I know that they'll sell you that your life is over and it's destroyed and game over. No way. That the end goal is for everything, all life, to go back to source, even the negative eventually. So they're growing towards the light too, believe it or not. It's just end result. So what happens with this ascension? The negative aspects entities, aspects of consciousness will either evolve and turn light, or they will be recycled for another cycle, right? This is what happens. So it's like a constant, even the lower aspects are supposed to be evolving and growing towards the light and changing and getting purified. So, you know, the ones that are choosing to be negative, they will either dissipate and get recycled back into source or do another cycle. Yeah, I'm doing cards next. This is just my coffee break while I wake up. So we're talking eclipses. We have a solar eclipse. We have a lunar eclipse at the end of the month. These are going to be really, really powerful for our ascension and the energy hitting our planet. It's powerful for manifesting. We're manifesting crazy till Monday right now. Everything we're talking about. Anything we're focusing on. So manifesting. How do you manifest? People are asking me, right? I believe that the higher frequency that you're at, the easier it will be for you to use your spiritual gifts. Like when I was at a low frequency, it was like, sorry, no gifts, dormant, right? That I had to reach a certain frequency to be able to tune in and access the spiritual or whatever. So as the frequencies are going up, our gifts are gonna continue to amplify whatever we're good at. So the higher frequency you're at, the easier it'll get. You have to practice with manifesting, but we are all the time with whatever we're thinking about. That's why it's really hard to only be thinking about things you want to draw to you all the time to manifest. It does take a lot of mastery with your own thoughts to be able to do this. So we have to be really careful that anything we're thinking about is going to manifest, and we'll see it fast. Anything we're putting out the intention for or the thought of this weekend will come back to us with the next storm at the end of the month. So we see a lot of abundance come with the full moon too, harvest, right, of our ideas, whatever things we're putting out the vibe for right now. But we're manifesting on all new levels. We look at this as the end of a cycle and kind of like a blank slate right now, right? These eclipses are going to do an energy reset across this whole planet. I look at it like one of those EMF devices going off and knocking the Wi-Fi out and all the power out like on a global level, right? So kind of like that. We're going to have energy reset. It will ultimately push us into much higher frequencies though. So people are going to start to purge with the moon coming closer too. It amplifies your intuition though. It's bringing our intuitive abilities out though with having a lot of this lunar energy hitting us with this ascension though. Oh, I'm not doing any more dream videos, but I love the topic. I just never know how to put it into words or to talk about it. But if people are remembering pieces of their dreams, someone said they were dreaming about a desert. Go Google anything you remember. I was Googling all sorts of stuff, right? Angel halos, looking up the meanings, anything I remember, right? Go to Google, start to Google anything you remember from your dream. It's all symbolism, and it's just like here. So I want to Google what the dream meaning of the solar eclipse is. Because we are dreaming. Instead of just dreaming, what's the spiritual meaning of it? People don't really know. If you go to like a dream dictionary, they'll know on everything, right? So I Google the dream meaning of the blood moon. I put it on the blood moon post in the Reiki group, and it is taken as a new beginning, but it's also taken as an omen for the third dimension. When people are seeing it, the sleepers, and they're seeing the blood moon, and they're in that biblical construct, you know, they'll probably think the world's ending. And it's a prophetic moon. If you go to any of the Christian sites, every blood moon they have like 1 million articles on how the world is ending, right? End times, the world is ending. So, you know, I know that when I was going through that third dimensional kind of experience, those blood moons were kind of powerful because it got me back into astrology. Like, you know, I had a really good astrological understanding, and it kind of got me into astrology and researching the blood moons. So it will be taken as an omen when the entire sky turns red, hopefully worldwide. It won't be a normal blood moon. It'll be a blood moon eclipse, which that's really rare. We're not even going to have a solar eclipse for like 2 more years either. So this is like a big astrology month. I think we're having a blue moon too this year. We're having a blue moon sometime. Probably next month. Yeah, and we're having a blue moon, but I don't know when. Probably soon. So, Sherry, we're going to go see astrological crazy stuff where the moon comes right by the planet and turns the whole sky red. It'll be real prophetic. It'll be like your wake-up call. Here's your alarm clock. People kind of look up at the sky like, what's going on, right? Like, how can people not deny that something is happening here? So people should be looking around and like, holy shit, what's going on with the sky, right? I'm excited about it. People are starting to purge though. The moon's already close to the planet. You're already kind of feeling it, the energies. But it's really good for our ascension. Like I said, these energy cycles are, for the next year, going to do the same thing, that when these storms roll through, they're going to be pulling any garbage out of your soul, like on a soul level, any debris out of your energy, old emotions, which we stored every emotion we ever felt in our body. I tell my husband that. He doesn't understand that. He stored every negative emotion for like 5 years in his stomach lining in his body, and now it's going to be fun to pull all that garbage out on a soul level. Lots of purging. So we'll see the normal purging. The blue moon. It's just for us. Me and Sherry are going to London, so the universe created me a blood moon just for me. We just found out about the blood moon part, right? And so, or the next, yeah, well, that's when we go to London. So I'm getting confused with the moons. When we go to London, we're getting a blood moon. So our trip keeps getting better and better. I forgot. I got a whole nother topic to talk about. There are like 500 lawsuits against the Queen for that museum. They actually had the nerve to remove one of the Easter Island heads. You guys know those, they're famous. I put it on the Reiki wall. The Easter Island structure, I believe it's near Chile. And they actually moved one. It's in the British Museum. Easter Island wants their fucking statue back, and they took the Sphinx beard and they have it in the basement of the same museum, and Egypt wants it back, and they have Africa suing them over all their stuff they looted and stole. And they have the natives, the Aborigines in Australia, real mad at them too. They have like 1 million lawsuits. You can add fraud to their resume. That's a good word for the UK government I'm finding here. I hear that thrown out a lot about the UK government, fraud. So on top of plundering the world and stealing, we can add fraud to their museum resume. So they got this head. Now, we have to remember, you know why crystals are so powerful? Rocks are living entities. They actually hold a second density consciousness level. Yes, they're source experiencing itself. Those rocks are real mad. They don't want to be in the museum. They're mad they're being held in captivity in the museum. The people that live on Easter Island say that the statue needs its family. They're a rock family. And that the statue's missed its family member and they want it back. And it was taken from a sacred site. Like, it's like taking one of the Stonehenge rocks there, which I wouldn't put it past them, as you know, right? We're always talking about this stuff. So what else do they have in there? They do have an alien disc in the museum, too, that I put up there. Some type of alien disc. They have so many alien artifacts, though. I'm really disappointed. I had to do a lot of museum research to see what they're hiding in there. And they keep those in the basement. They don't put them on display. They do have their own UK Roswell UFO flying disc there, though. That was on Ancient Aliens. I have to try to go find the crystal skull and the disc Ancient Alien episode, I think, before we go to. I'll work on it. So, this head, we'll just call it a head, the Easter Island head, which is full of wisdom and knowledge, and just like Stonehenge's own Akashic, right? Record keepers, wisdom keepers, call it what you want. It's not behind glass, but it's real high up. I don't even know how they moved this stuff. How did they move the entire contents of ancient Egypt and all this stuff to this museum anyway, or this island, right? Like, how did they move this thing? I'm just gonna say they might have had to use alien technology to move it. And we're talking like during Queen Victoria era, they moved that head there. It's kind of a big rock, I'll just put it that way. It probably weighs a couple 100 tons, who knows. It isn't behind glass. I'm gonna have to touch the thing, but I was scoping out the pictures. It looks real high up. We might have to go record the museum and visit, and then I'll go try to touch the thing in case we get kicked out, but we're gonna for sure have to touch it. We might have to go see the head last. So they have all this stuff buried in this museum and labeled wrong and like all of it. So it reminds me of the Masons, where they say that they try to reveal but conceal. And this is a lot of what the elite do too. They like to put stuff out in the news that's true for fun. They like to put it out there, right? So the skull, the crystal skull is there, but it's labeled as an Aztec piece of garbage. It is there, but it was called a fraud and labeled an Aztec, a fake and an Aztec piece of garbage. So they have a lot of stuff in that museum, but it's mislabeled too. Egypt wants the Rosetta Stone back too. They're real mad about that. It's worth like, I don't even know how many hundreds of millions of dollars, and they have like these big fights over every artifact in that museum. Like, the whole world hates them for like taking all their stuff, I guess. hiding in plain sight. It's a lot of this matrix, right? Like, we always had access to Google with all this spiritual stuff on it. We just didn't know where to look, right? So they have this stuff around, but a lot of people don't know where to look. Hiding in plain sight. It's a lot of what happens in this matrix, I swear. Yeah, so Lynn went to a museum. It doesn't matter, you can't touch it. We don't need to touch stuff. We're Reiki healers, right? Distance Reiki. It doesn't matter. Quantum physics. We don't have to touch stuff. Even being near it and in the vicinity, that stuff is, you know, Egypt was a fourth dimensional place of learning. Those Easter Island rocks were created out of telepathy too. They were created on a subconscious level out of telepathy, and they were made on a fourth dimensional level too. Just being around those ancient artifacts that were at higher levels of consciousness. We're coming from 3D bottom hell, right? 3D lower heavens up, and we're making our ascension. So they started learning at a fourth dimensional level where we're just at chilling now. So they were at really high levels of consciousness. They were really tuned into the spiritual. They didn't have the government, you know, lying about their history and everything going on now. But there's so much energy encoded in these things. Like I said, rocks and crystals are living entities with consciousness. They will leave. If your crystals get bored, I always say it, they will leave. They can probably teleport out of there and transcend time and space. They're really powerful receivers. So you'll notice sometimes you lose your crystals if you're not playing with them enough. Yeah, Sherry can't touch it. She's too short. We might need to bring the stool. I'm like scoping I'm scoping it out like military expert level espionage, right? I told P last night that we need to figure out when I can win the lotto scratch off tickets, because I need some like expert level spy gear. I said last night we wanted the facial recognition app like the government has because of that picture in our chat. I want like the thermal body scanning stuff, you know. I just want some really high tech kind of spy stuff for these missions I'm doing, like in the movies, like seriously. So we'll work at the scratch offs too, right? It will be a really good time to do scratch offs when we go during that energy. So we need some supplies. I've been checking out their security, the entire building layout, what they have in it and where. I'm ready, right? I said that entire part of the grid has been hacked and hijacked by the elite. London, home headquarters for evil, right? It's been hijacked, and just like Paris on fire. Those are hijacked areas of concern on this grid. So, you know, I know that they have like their churches on the fractal points that should be lighting the grid up. Instead, they're taking it down vibratory. So I think when me and Sherry just go hang out in London, we'll be activating that grid in new areas, just being there as grid fractal points in some way too. We will be turning the grid on in London. It might be the very first time in a long time that's happened. Who knows? So I'm excited to go check it out. I said London's on my bucket list and we need to go see it before they burn it down. It might be like France soon with Brexit. It's my bucket list. We had to go check it out before they burn that city down too. Let's talk about terror attacks. Where are their favorite locations besides New York? Because that takes some balls. Paris, London. I wonder how many terror attacks we've had in the past 5 years in London or Paris. It's over the top. Last year, until they stopped working, right? And then everyone was like, oh, it's fake. And then they stopped doing them and they started new tactics. But up until like last Christmas, they were like blowing that city up at least a couple times a year. Yeah, we're for sure getting grabbed by museum security. We'll go film the video. We'll do like a filming of it and we'll go back to the rock before we leave. So what are they going to do? Kick me out? What are they going to do? Kick me out of the museum like court with security? So, I mean, I don't think you'll get arrested. They did steal the rock, in all fairness, if they want to go there. If they have like real serious museum cops, I'll make sure that they stole the rock from me in past lives. These are our rocks we built during Atlantean times. Nice try. Stolen rocks. So we're going to see all the stolen artifacts. I can't wait. They have the Anunnaki gods. I'm looking for alien stuff. I spent like hours researching, do they have any alien artifacts in the British Museum? And I'm looking up all this weird stuff, right? I'm looking for alien stuff, mainly fun stuff to play with and explore. They do have the Sumerian tablets, which kind of look like alien gods, like life-size ones. So every time I was searching for alien stuff, I kept getting led back to their Sumerian stuff that they have there. Again, they have like the UFO winged disc art there, but I couldn't even find it when I was like searching for it, so it's buried somewhere in that museum. because I did find a picture of it, but I couldn't find it when I was like searching for it. Oh, they have haunted stuff too. They have, it's like, it's all evil too. They took everything, all the evil relics there. They have like a mirror that this guy that was real famous, occultist, they have a whole, I guess, museum of them somewhere. Some occultist had a mirror that he would use to summon evil spirits and stuff. And they have all of their evil relics in the same building too as all the divine stuff that they plundered. Should make for interesting energy. They have witches stuff. I saw witch stuff. I put all this stuff in the event too that I found that was fun. They have witch stuff that's really frightening according to Google. They'll confiscate the stool. The stool. I had to look up their recording policies at their museum too, because they say you can't record in some museums, but I know that my friend recorded in that one. Alright, I'm gonna go. I'm switching my cards today too, so I'm excited. I was really sick of my cards yesterday. I ordered some new weird cards too. I'm supposed to get tomorrow, so I'll let you guys go.